The Harvey Weinstein story, this thing just keeps building. Now, 3 women have accused him of rape. It's in a New Yorker story by Ronan Farrow. Ronan Farrow is the daughter of Mia Farrow. And remember, he used to do a show for a week on MSNBC. Had never been on TV before. He won the Cronkite Journalism Award after his first night on TV. I'll never forget that. Brian Williams, these guys, we've been doing this for 30 years. We haven't won jack, whatever. And this guy one night, and he gets the Cronkite Award. Anyway, he's got this story. And in this story, exactly what I told you. In this story, you'll see all over it. You'll see the names Roger Ailes. You'll see the story, and you'll see the names Bill O'Reilly. You know the name you will not see in, this story's long, 8,000 words. I don't know what it is. You know the name you won't see in this story? Bill Clinton. You do not see the name Bill Clinton in the story of Harvey Weinstein at all in the New Yorker. And you really have to look hard to find the name Bill Clinton in many of the other stories. There's something, can somebody tell me if you've heard this, because I haven't. Has anybody heard anybody defending Harvey say, come on, it didn't affect the way Harvey did his job? Come on, everybody does it. Remember the old Bill Clinton defense we got? You haven't heard anybody say that about Harvey? Well, you know, Donna Karan came out and did defend Harvey until the blowback happened, and then she walked it back, claiming she was taken out of context. Let's listen. Let's grab audio soundbite number 1. This is, by the way, greetings and welcome. Great to have you here, folks. There's a major story today that may be underneath your radar that I want to get into later. There is an increasing, nothing to do with Weinstein or any of this stuff. It's to do with Trump. I'm seeing more and more stories, and it's related to this whole Corker snafu, that Trump really isn't president, that Kelly and Mattis and Tillerson have seized the office and are openly defying Trump on everything. The purpose of the stories is to put forth 2 propositions. One, of course, that Trump is a dangerous idiot, like Corker says, on the verge of starting World War III, and veterans of the swamp literally have to countermand him on virtually everything. And, of course, the second aspect of the story is a constitutional crisis. If that's really happening, for example, if the intelligence community people, like the NSA and the CIA and those people, and the military are actually running the country by defying Trump, then is there a constitutional crisis going on? And I want to address those as only I can in due course. And I promise you it's going to be today. This is not something that I'll not have time to get to. But I want to get this Weinstein stuff out of it. Oh, speaking of which, we have a statement from Bill Clinton on this. He somehow strangely is omitted in all of these stories. It's uncanny. Like this thing from the New Yorker that just popped. You see Ailes' name all over it. You see O'Reilly's name all over it. It's a story. 3 women have accused Weinstein of rape. That's 2 more than have accused Clinton of rape. So I guess Hillary can take some solace in that. But still, you don't find Bill Clinton's name in this or many of the other stories. But Bill Clinton has a statement on the upcoming rehabilitation of Harvey.
Now, William Jefferson Clinton on the rehabilitation of Harvey Weinstein.
My fellow Americans, I'm here today on behalf of an old family friend, Harvey Weinstein, who is right now making amends for some unfortunate
come on.
behavior. But it will take some time. Harvey is an old dinosaur learning new tricks.
Come back to Papa.
Trick number 1.
No.
Harvey, shut the door.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Everyone in Hollywood loves Harvey's power and money, and we will forgive and forget the fact that for a moment he lost control of himself and acted like Donald Trump for
30 years.
30 years. Soon, he will be a changed man who respects women for who they are, not for their... Trick number 2, Wait until you are rehabilitated to do it again.
William Jefferson Clinton on the rehabilitation efforts of Harvey Weinstein. That was obviously produced in a hotel suite somewhere. It's great to have you here, folks, as we're off and running on another 3 hours of broadcast excellence. Here's Donna Karan. Donna Karan's a good friend of Barbra Streisand. I'm just gossiping here, throwing things out there that I know. She started the Donna Karan clothing line, DKNY. And what she essentially said, she had a statement last night. She was at some fashion film awards event. And she spoke with reporters about allegations of sexual harassment against Harvey Weinstein. She basically said, now this is a woman that designs clothes for women to wear. And she said, is it maybe our fault? Is it maybe the women's fault? Are these women dressing too sensuously, too sexually? Here's how it sounded.
I think we have to look at ourselves. How do we display ourselves? How do we present ourselves as women? What are we asking? Are we asking for it? You know, by presenting all the sensuality and all the sexuality? You know, and what are we throwing out to our children today?
Holy cliche, Batman, for crying out loud. Do you realize how this sets back the movement of the feminazis? This is the kind of thing that in the early days of this, that men would offer as a defense. Hey, look at the way they're presenting themselves to me. They're coming in here, they're scantily clad, they're showing off things, they're walking seductively. They want it. Remember guys would say that? And remember how they were raked over the coals being insensitive and disrespectful? Here comes Donna Karan, who is the generation of Streisand, so she'd be, about 95 now? And she's echoing these sentiments. Blame the women. Blame the victim. I'm surprised it took hours for her to walk this back, but it did. Now, here is the same. We have another soundbite here from the same event she was at, this Fashion Film Awards event, dinner, whatever it was. She continued speaking.
I don't think it's only Harvey Weinstein. I don't think we're only looking at him. I think we're looking at a world much deeper than that. He's being looked at right now, you know, as a symbol, not necessarily as him. I know his wife. I think they're wonderful people. Harvey's done some amazing things. I think we have to look at our world and what we want to say and how we want to say it as well. It's not Harvey Weinstein. You look at everything all over the world today, you know, and how women are dressing and, you know, what they're asking by just presenting themselves the way they do. What are they asking for? Trouble.
They're wearing her clothes. She designs the clothes that these babes wear. She now says they're asking for trouble. They're presenting themselves the way they do, and that's asking for trouble. This is before she walked it back. You talk about tone deaf. You talk about being not connected to the present. This is just, I read this last night. I said, somebody has to be amplifying this a little bit. Nobody could be this, particularly on the left. I mean, Donna Karan is as loyal a leftist as you will find anywhere. She can't explain much of it, but she's there. And she believes it. She doesn't know why. She's one of those. It's just the thing to be, given the business and industries that she is in. But this kind of boggles the mind. So now she's walked it back after the predictable uproar and is claiming that she was taken out of context. She just was taken out of context out there. Well, it's hard to know what the right context would be. But, I mean, the UK Daily Mail was all over this. Donna Karan comes to Harvey Weinstein's defense, suggesting his victims may have been asking for it. And this caused all kinds of reaction from noted Hollywood actresses like Rose McGowan. now we had Clooney has weighed in. Yeah, it's bad, but I've known Harvey all these years, and I never knew any of this was going on. I had no idea. I heard a rumor. I didn't know any of this was going on. Yeah, there was talk, but I didn't know any of this was. Nobody who knew Harvey. Now, I remember Harvey and I would go out. I never heard a thing about it either. It was just incredible the lengths to which people are going. Donna Brazil. I said the other day that the Democrats do not know how to innovate, that they've got a playbook that tells them what to say, when to say it, about any issue that comes up. It's not relevant to present time. It's just a standard cliche response. Hillary is famous for them. Well, Donna Brazil, a former Democrat National Committee chairwoman, Donna Brazil, deleted a tweet praising the Weinstein Company for taking the lead against sexual assault after they fired Harvey. So this is exactly what I mean. Harvey Weinstein admits to paying off, well, he admits to mistreating. I don't know if he is admitted to the 8 payoffs, but the 8 women paid off. Now, New Yorkers alleging 3 women say he raped them. It's getting worse. And in the midst of this, they fire Harvey. And they announce they're going to change the name of the Weinstein Company to the Popsicle Company or whatever it is. And Donna Brazil, whoa, that's the right thing. That's a great, they've changed. So she tweets out praise for the Weinstein Company taking the lead against sexual assault after they fired Weinstein. This is a classic, perfunctory, formulaic response that's in the Democrat playbook that is tone deaf and is unaware of present activity, things. How in the world do you praise the Weinstein Company for taking the lead against sexual assault? What she thinks she's doing is being loyal to a donor. Well, the Weinstein Company wasn't the donor. Harvey was. But she thinks that she's being loyal to a donor. She thinks that she's showing proper respect to a donor. And it's entirely tone deaf because all she did, she probably doesn't need the playbook because in many pages she probably wrote it. So event happens, programmed response is called for, and she utters it without any awareness of how hypocritical, ironic, or tone deaf that it is. The Weinstein, and this tweet was yesterday or Sunday. This is Tuesday. This tweet was Sunday. The Weinstein Company has taken the lead against sexual harassment and assault because they got rid of Harvey. The Donna Brazil is so used to doing PR for Democrats, so used to formulaically defending them. She just naturally tried to spin the story for the Weinstein Company because they're good Democrat loyal donors. But this is as tone deaf as Hillary's tweet back in November 2015 when she tweeted at the height of sexual assaults on campus hysteria, every survivor of sexual assault deserves to be heard, believed, and supported. This is from the woman who ran the Limbaugh eruptions unit in the Clinton White House, whose purpose was to destroy any women that came forth and alleged that Bill Clinton had done anything to them. And that's, now, you may be saying, and if you are, it's a good question. So, Rush, big deal. So they're formulaic. So the reason I mention that, it's not just a talk. It's part and parcel of my belief that these people are ripe for being defeated, folks. Remember, it's all about that as far as I'm concerned. These people have to be defeated in the arena of ideas and at the ballot box and in the culture. They have to be defeated. And so if they're this inept, if they're this formulaic and out of touch, to me, it makes them easier targets. There's no reason to be afraid of them. There's no reason to fear them, even though the media is on their side. This is my point in pointing this out. The fact that it's a formulaic response and is tone deaf and maybe even be hypocritical means nothing in and of itself, other than these people are not as brilliant as everybody thinks. But the real point about it is they aren't innovating. They are not living in 2017 with their policies, their issues, their agenda. They are ripe for defeat, is my point. And this is something that should instill confidence in the people fighting them, that they're not, as so many people believe, unbeatable, that they are not formidable. They're actually antiques, and they are ripe for being defeated in the arena of ideas. To wrap up this Weinstein stuff, the Daily Beast reporting today that the New York PD was ready to arrest Harvey Weinstein. A woman went to the Special Victims Unit after an encounter with Weinstein, and they wanted her to wear a wire and go back to a meeting which she had told Harvey she would not meet him the next day. They wanted her to go back with a wire and get him on tape, admitting what he had done the day before and then doing whatever he did. The woman's name was Ambra Batalana. She excused herself to use the restroom, met by a detective from SVU, which had been using 2 cell phones to record a meeting in March of 2015. By the time it was all over, the New York Police Department said they didn't have not enough to charge a felony, but they were ready to. That's how many complaints they had been receiving. And as a result, they were watching Weinstein. I don't know to what extent he was under surveillance, but he was on the radar. Now, all that means is that this is pretty serious stuff. You know, this is it's gone beyond the realm here of Hollywood gossip and gotcha. You know, something else that I thought of when all this was happening, and this was an original thought that I have since abandoned as an explanation. But, you know, setups like this happen all the time. There are law firms and there are people who try to set up people and get them to behave in embarrassing / illegal / compromising positions, all for the purposes of blackmailing them or suing them. And when I first heard this, Hollywood, we're talking about Hollywood, where cutthroat competition and personal envy and rivalries are off the charts. I've since rejected that that's a factor here, but it does happen. People attempt to entrap people all the time. We'll be back. Don't go away. Greetings and welcome back to your guiding light, Rush Limbaugh, on the cutting edge of societal evolution. Having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. Harvey Weinstein's name is to be removed from all the TV shows he produced. The Weinstein Company also wants to change its name in addition to taking Harvey's name off of anything they've ever produced, TV, movies, whatever. The name Harvey Weinstein being purged from Hollywood. On Monday, Deadline reported the Weinstein Company is removing Harvey's producer credit from any TV series he's worked on. They plan to wipe it from upcoming movie releases. Also report that the Weinstein Company is auditioning ad agencies to change its company name altogether. That's the Soviet style. You know, the way you get rid of problems is change the name. Also, what else? Well, I don't think Harvey could even survive airbrushing. I mean, that is one ugly... You know something? Something else about this. I was reading my tech blogs, and even Apple is trying to get in on the We Hate Harvey Now bandwagon. Apparently there's some Elvis Presley biopic or some such thing that you can rent or buy on iTunes. And Apple made a big deal out of saying, it's not available. We've pulled it. You can't buy it. You can't rent it because that pig, Harvey Weinstein, had something. They didn't say pig, but I mean, that is what is implied. We also have Mrs. Clinton, ladies and gentlemen. Not only did she tweet that all women claiming abuse have the right to be believed, she said so. This is campaign website, YouTube channel, September 14th, 2015. This was part of a new ad that Hillary had released. Hillary's message to survivors of sexual assault. I'm not laughing at the premise. I'm laughing at the title. Hillary Clinton's message to survivors of the irony here. Her husband was the predator in chief, and she was the woman that ran the unit in the White House whose objective was to destroy the lives and reputations of any women who might come forward to accuse her husband of having abused them or been in a relationship such as an affair with them. It was Hillary and Betsy Wright ran the Bimbo Eruptions unit. So the irony here is why I'm laughing, and this is from that ad, Hillary's message to survivors of sexual assault.
I want to send a message to every survivor of sexual assault. Don't let anyone silence your voice. You have a right to be heard, and you have a right to be believed. We're with you.
No, she is not. She hasn't said a word about Harvey. And, here's another thing. All of these Democrat groups and some candidates have announced very righteously that they are recirculating Harvey's donations. They are not keeping the money. They are getting rid of it. The money is foul. The money from Harvey is tainted, and they want nothing to do with it. I'm not sure I believe it. Like the DNC is taking 10% of what Harvey donated and sending it to people like Planned Parenthood. They're just redistributing it to other Democrat groups. But, we never see. And this dovetails into a point that I'm going to be making about Trump here in just a second. We never see what these people actually do. They make a big deal out of claiming that they're wiping their hands of any Harvey money, and they're going to get rid of it. Now, they're not giving it back. They're honest about that. They say they're going to redirect it or redistribute it, but we never see that. We never see the check or the wire transfer or whatever mechanism is used to take that money out of their account and move it to somebody else's. We never see that. The drive-bys never demand it. These people just get away with saying they're going to do it, and we never know if they actually do. By the way, you know what? I just saw something, and it's one of these things that I knew and I should have thought of, and I could lie to you right now and say that I did think of it, but I can't do that. Everybody's asking why. Why hasn't Hillary? Why hasn't Obama? Why hasn't Michelle Maybell? Why haven't they reacted? Why haven't they condemned what Harvey Weinstein did? Why did it take so long? Daniel Greenberg at Front Page Mag has the answer. Look at his donations to Planned Parenthood. He was probably one of the largest financial backers and powerful brokers of the pro-abortion movement in this country. And that alone will buy you absolution of so many sins that you commit elsewhere, it's impossible to list them. But abortion is the sacrament. If you look at the American left, liberalism as a religion, abortion is the sacrament, and that's the big test. And if you do right on that issue, you are buying yourself all kinds of get-out-of-jail-free cards. And Harvey Weinstein was among not just the biggest donors, the biggest attendees at all of these different events and fundraising events all over the world. And he would bring his actors and actresses and put them on the red carpet at these events. He was probably in the top 5 all-important donors, supporters of Planned Parenthood and other pro-abortion causes, and that's why. Greenberg is exactly right. That is it in a nutshell. It is why so many prominent, powerful Democrats will not say a word about it. And it is why it's why Clinton gets a pass. Bill Clinton and others get a pass on everything they do, is because when the rubber meets the road on the issue of abortion, they are 100% liberal pure. Actual audio of an SVU, Police Department Special Victims Unit sting Harvey Weinstein. It's from 2015. secretly recorded by one of his victims. That's coming right up. Hang on. The views expressed by the host on this program are riveting the people of this nation and in many places around the world, because in all four corners of the world, I have become a household name. It's great to have you here, folks. The telephone number, if you want to be on the program, 800-282-2882, and the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.us. Now, I mentioned earlier in our Harvey Weinstein segments that one of the women that Harvey Weinstein cornered in a narrow hallway and attempted to force himself upon her reported him to the SVU department, the NYPD, Special Victims Unit. And what she told them, they said wasn't enough for any action, any charges. They asked her to go back and actually accept his invitation for another meeting, which she had declined because she was repulsed, and wear a wire. And she did it. Now, even this, according to what I read, was not enough for them to move forward with felony charges. But they wanted to, and the story was headlined, the NYPD wanted to arrest Harvey Weinstein. This is back a couple of years ago. Well, Mia Farrow's son, Ronan Farrow, has a blockbuster piece in The New Yorker in which he reveals 3 women who now claim that Harvey Weinstein raped them, and other women who allege actual abuse, not just little come-ons like, hey, you want to watch me take a shower? Hey, you want to give me a massage in my bathrobe here? You know, this kind of stuff. Now, the woman's name, who went to SVU, was a Filipina-Italian model by the name of Ambra Gutierrez. Gutierrez, for those of you in Rio Linda, but it's Gutierrez. And in this, Weinstein admits, they wanted her to go back and get Weinstein to admit somehow what he had done to her the day before, whenever she had met with him. Now, Ronan Farrow, still under 30, I think. If not, he's right at 30. They gave him a show on MSNBC. He had never been on TV. They gave him a show, a primetime show, and after like 2 episodes, they gave him the Cronkite Journalism Excellence Award or some such thing. And then they fired him a couple weeks later because it wasn't working. So he's writing stuff now. And I can't believe him. This is the New York, this is the literary community of New York, and they've got Weinstein in their sights, both barrels. And when there's stories last week that the New York Times had a blockbuster coming, there was also news that the New Yorker had one coming too, but we didn't know it was Ronan. No, we did know. I did know it was Ronan Farrow that was writing. Well, his story hits today. Here is, it's not the whole tape, of course, it's edited, but this is salient points here. It's about 50 seconds of and it's from the New Yorker website. They've released audio of the sting operation with Ambra Gutierrez trying to get Harvey Weinstein.
I'm going to take a shower. You sit there and have a drink. Why?
I don't drink.
You must come here now.
No.
Please?
No, I don't want to.
I'm not doing anything with you.
I'm sorry. I cannot. No, yesterday was a kind of aggressive for me. I need to know a person to be touched.
I won't do a thing. Please, I swear I won't. Just sit with me. Don't embarrass me in the hotel. I'm here all the time. Please, 1 minute.
No,
I ask
I can't.
you. Go to the bathroom.
Please, I don't want to do something I don't want
Go
to.
to the bathroom. Come here. Listen to me.
I want to go downstairs.
I'm not going to do it.
I don't feel comfortable.
Honey, don't have a fight with me in the
It's
hall.
not nice.
Please, I'm not going to do anything. I swear, my children. Please come in. I'm a famous guy.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable right
Please
now.
come in now. And 1 minute. And if you want to leave, when the guy comes with my
Why
jacket, you can go.
yesterday you touched my breast?
Oh, please, I'm sorry. Just come on. I'm used to that. Come on.
Are you used to that?
Yeah.
So now it's it's sort of out there when it changes. Even though you have the details of the story, when you hear the pleading and the begging. Anyway, there are probably going to be some people with odd interpretations of this, but since I've been talking about it, there it is.